How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Set 6, and today we're going to be talking about the Romancing SaGa 2 demo, because that's out now. It looks really good. We had a little play of it on stream. I would highly recommend that if you're into your turn-based RPGs that you go and give it a look yourself, because, yeah, it's real good. It's real good. I mean, I know I've just spoiled my own review of it. It's not really a review, though, it's just thoughts. Just thoughts. Anyway, I'm waffling. Make sure you like the video, subscribe for future content, go and check out the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth chapter-by-chapter breakdown series if you haven't yet, because that's pretty good. But let's jump into talking about Romancing SaGa 2. Romancing SaGa 2 Revenge of the Seven is a remake of the 1993 game that was released on the Super Famicom. And this game never saw a release outside of Japan until 2016, when it was released worldwide on Android and iOS, and then it was released on the PlayStation Vita, Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, etc. in 2017. And this was a remaster of the original Super Famicom version, and therefore it retained a lot of the original charm and a lot of the original limitations. What we have on our hands here with Romancing SaGa 2 Revenge of the Seven is a complete remake, a 3D remake of the original Romancing SaGa 2. Now, if you've never played the original or you don't know what the game's about, basically the game is set during the history of the Kingdom of Avalon, and the player takes control of a dynasty of rulers as we fight through the game and try to defeat the Seven Heroes, a group of people who were formerly the heroes of this world, but for some reason have returned and are corrupted. Now, the way this works is through the inheritance mechanic, and this is something that you don't really get to explore until the very end of the demo, and in fairness, you don't get to explore it. The demo ends with the first moment of the inheritance mechanic. But basically what it is, it's a system where you can pass skills down from one leader to the next, in the hope of eventually making a leader that's the strongest that's been. Basically, it's all about standing on the shoulder of your predecessor, learning the skills that they learned, and developing your own as well. And it is a massive shame that this game never got a European or American release back in the day when it first came out, because I feel like people really would have resonated with this game genuinely. Like, I've played the demo, and we're going to talk about the demo, but I had a great time. And it's taken my hype for the full game through the roof. Like, originally I saw it and I was like, oh, this looks like it's up my street. Now I've played the demo, it is 100% up my street. So if you're into turn-based games, go check the demo out. It's free. It's on all platforms. Just do it. Just do it. Now, there are some things to talk about with the demo, but I am very conscious that the full game isn't out yet, and I've not had a chance to dive into the full version of the game, so any tips or suggestions that I give would be limited. But we can talk about the basic mechanics of the game. So, combat is turn-based. You will see enemies while you're walking around on the map. They'll just be kind of hovering around in front of you, very similar to games like Persona and things like that. And combat is initiated when you either run into one of these enemies or they run into you, or if you sneak up behind the enemy, you receive the opportunity to attack it, and therefore begin the fight in an advantageous position. Once you get into combat, it's very standard turn-based combat. So like I say, if you're a turn-based fan, this is definitely going to be one for you to check out. There are a few interesting facets to the combat. The first of them being the overdrive gauge, which allows you to chain attacks with multiple party members and deal additional damage. In the demo, it seems like it's a chain of 2, but the fact that it specifically says 2 chain suggests to me that that number can go up. The other majorly interesting thing about the combat is something called glimmering. Now, glimmering is the process by which you will learn new abilities. Or at least it seems like one of the processes. We do, with Gerard, who's the character that we're in control of for the demo, learn a fire spell by just speaking to someone in the castle, but every other ability that we learn is learned by using the abilities that we have. And you'll know when an ability is ready to be learned by a light bulb that appears next to one of the attacks you already have. So for example, on the screen now, we have Therese, she's an archer, and she's got a bow attack there, a basic bow attack. And we can see next to the name of the attack there is a light bulb. Now this light bulb will grow in intensity if it's more likely that you are going to learn a skill by using this skill, but there's no guarantee that using a skill with a light bulb next to it will immediately level up, so you have to continue using it in combat until eventually the bow attack will give us access to id attack, which is a bow attack that's slightly stronger and inflicts confusion on the enemy. And this is how it works for everybody as far as I can see. You can change the equipment that you're using, so for example you can give a character a different weapon and that'll change the base attack that they have. So for example, and we'll use Therese again, we might as well, but as you can see beneath the bow attack she has a short sword attack. If we were to take that off and put a great sword in there, it would become a great sword attack. And then the more that the character uses these abilities and the more difficult the enemy is that you are fighting, the more likely you are to learn a new ability. And that's pretty much it. Couple that process with the inheritance mechanic, and it seems like we're going to have a very customizable loadout for our main character. Especially when you take into account the fact that we're going to be passing moves down through multiple generations, and I feel like the goal is eventually to just build the best character that you can over time. Very much a Crusader Kings, Europa Universalis kind of vibe in a lot of ways, but also not in a lot of ways because those games are crazy. But yeah, that's the general mechanics and the way that combat works. Like I say, best thing for you to do, grab the demo, check it out for yourself. The story for the game is also quite interesting. I'm into this whole 7 heroes who've now been corrupted to the dark side that we have to deal with. It seems like the game's going to be a little bit tragic, probably pull no punches. I won't spoil things, but play the demo. It goes for it a little bit. Things happen, people die, etc, etc. So yeah, in my mind, definitely download the demo, check it out, give it a go, get your own opinions together on this. But if you are a turn-based RPG fan, I've got a feeling this might be a good game for you. Now, when the game drops fully and we finally get our hands on it, we will 100% be diving into the minutiae of this game a little bit more, because there's so many other things that I've not really touched on in this video, such as formations in combat, the variety of equipment that you can wear, the way that equipment weighs you down and reduces your speed in combat, loads of different little facets to this game, but we've gone over the general gist of it. And 100% when the game fully comes out, we will be diving into everything. I will be giving you the best strategies, I will be giving you the best ways to build your leader so that you can go ahead and defeat the former heroes of the realm. Also, if you are into your turn-based RPGs, I recommend putting it on hard/classic difficulty. This seems to be the difficulty that the game originally had back on the Super Famicom, so I kind of feel like that's probably the best way to play it. But there are 2 lower difficulty levels beneath that if you find yourself struggling. I think that's everything that I can say at this point. I mean, it's a good looking game, the music's good, the character interactions seem quite good so far, but we're quite limited on the character interactions that we have because it's, you know, very early in the game and just a demo, it's just a snapshot of what we can do. And I'm excited. I am super excited for this game. But let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. Have you played the demo yet? How did you feel about it? Are you planning to play the demo? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe for future content, check out the other content on the channel, but more importantly than anything, have a great day.